All right, so imagine this. You wake up, you're stretching a bit, and suddenly your legs, yeah, they just feel off.
Offs like how?
Heavy, almost like they're like filled with sand. Or I don't know if you've ever had this, it's the middle of the night and bam,
Yeah.
that classic leg cramp hits you. You know the one, right?
Oh, yeah. That jolt of pain in your calf. Ugh, the worst.
It can be brutal, and it's more than just annoying when your legs aren't feeling strong, like really reliable. It impacts everything, like living the life you want. Active, independent,
Mhm.
you know.
I totally get it. That feeling of moving without even thinking about it,
Mm,
that takes strong, steady legs. They're the base for all of that.
exactly. And that's what we're going deep on today, keeping those legs powerful, resilient, and cramp-free, especially as we all get older.
It's a journey.
It is. So think of this as like unlocking secrets. 7 key vitamins and minerals. These can be total game changers for your leg strength and how they feel overall.
Think about it. More energy, better balance, just that peace of mind knowing your legs can handle whatever you throw at them.
Walking, gardening, even just getting up from your favorite chair. It all starts with those legs.
Right. And we're not talking hardcore workouts here. This is about what you put into your body.
The fuel for those amazing legs. Well, look at how these nutrients work. Think of it like an orchestra. They all play their part.
I like that. An orchestra.
Yeah. To boost muscle function, keep bones dense and make sure the blood is flowing all the way down to your toes. So whether it's a gentle stroll, a dance class, or just cruising through your day, understanding these nutrients can make a huge difference. Let's kick things off with one that's often overlooked. Vitamin D, the sunshine vitamin.
Vitamin D, yeah. Most people think bones, right?
Hmm.
And yeah, it's crucial for that. But it goes so much deeper, especially for our leg muscles.
It
As
does.
we get older, we naturally lose some muscle. It just happens. But vitamin D, it's crucial for keeping those leg muscles strong, coordinated, like working the way they should.
So it's like maintenance for our legs.
Exactly. And here's the thing. As we age, we don't absorb vitamin D from sunlight as well. Plus, we might be spending less time outdoors for various reasons. And, that leads to a deficiency. It's super common. But a lot of folks don't even realize it.
So low vitamin D, what does that actually do to our legs?
Well, a lot of research shows a direct link between low vitamin D and muscle weakness. Doctors call it myopathy. And this weakness, especially in the legs, increases the risk of falls. Big time.
Falls are serious. I mean, they can lead to injuries and, take away your independence.
It's a domino effect.
Mm.
Studies show that seniors with enough vitamin D have stronger muscles, better communication between their nerves and muscles, better balance, the whole package.
So it's more than just feeling weak. It's about how stable you are, how likely you are to fall.
Exactly. But on the flip side, not having enough vitamin D can actually speed up muscle loss. And that happens naturally as we age anyway. Just think about getting up from a chair or climbing stairs. These everyday things become so much harder when your muscles aren't getting what they need. And it's not just about how big your muscles are. Vitamin D goes deeper, right down to how they work on a cellular level.
Okay, so break that down a little. How does vitamin D actually work on the muscles?
Okay, so vitamin D helps our muscles build proteins. These are crucial for contraction and strength. It also helps with how our nerves and muscles talk to each other. That neuromuscular junction makes those signals strong and clear.
It's like it's the fuel and the communication system all in one.
Exactly. And here's a big one. It's super important for maintaining what we call fast twitch muscle fibers.
Fast twitch, remind me, why are those so important?
Those are the fibers that are all about those quick, powerful movements, like the kind that help you catch yourself if you trip or adjust to keep your balance. They're your fall prevention system, basically. And when you're low on vitamin D, those fibers weaken. You react slower. Your muscles don't contract as forcefully when you need them to. It's like your emergency response system is running on low battery.
So if you need to react quickly, you might not be able to.
Right. And there's more. Vitamin D, it's also anti-inflammatory. So if you got aches, pains, or cramps in your legs, getting enough vitamin D can actually help.
Wow, that's a nice bonus. So beyond just our legs, what other issues are linked to low vitamin D?
Well, the big one is osteoporosis, right? Bones thin out, become more fragile, and your risk of fractures goes way up. That's because without enough vitamin D, your body can't absorb calcium properly. But it goes even further. Heart disease, cognitive decline, a weaker immune system. Vitamin D is kind of a big deal for overall health.
So we need to be paying attention to our levels. What can we do to boost them?
There are some simple things you can do. First, sensible sun exposure. Aim for like 15 to 30 minutes of sun on your arms and legs. Mid-morning or late afternoon is best when the sun's not as intense.
But sunscreen blocks vitamin D, right?
True, sunscreen is vital for protecting your skin, but yeah, it does block vitamin D production, so it's all about finding that balance.
Got it. What about food? Can we eat our way to higher vitamin D?
It can be tough to get everything you need through food alone, but certain foods can definitely help. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, fortified dairy or plant-based milks, egg yolks, even some mushrooms if they've been exposed to UV light.
Interesting. So what about supplements?
Yeah, for many seniors, especially if you're not outside as much or if you have trouble absorbing nutrients, supplements are often necessary. Most experts recommend around 800 to 1,000 IU daily, but talk to your doctor. They might recommend a higher dose if you have a deficiency.
And to really know where you stand, you need a blood test, right?
Absolutely. It's a simple test that measures your vitamin D levels. Many doctors now routinely check for it in older adults. It's a good idea to know where you stand.
Great. Let's move on to another big one for strong legs. Calcium. Everyone knows it's good for bones, but why is it so important for our legs as we get older?
As we age, our bodies naturally lose more bone mass than they build. It's just a natural part of life. But it does make our bones, well, weaker, more prone to fractures. And since our legs carry us around all day, they're at high risk.
So something as simple as a stumble could turn into a serious problem if your bones aren't strong.
Right. A hip fracture, a break in your thigh bone, even stress fractures. These can have a huge impact on your life. Long recovery, pain, it can really affect your independence. But calcium's role is bigger than just strong bones. It's absolutely essential for our muscles to contract.
What do you mean?
Think about it. Every step you take, every time you move your legs, you need calcium. It's what signals your muscles to contract. It's what makes those movements smooth, coordinated, and strong.
You don't think about it, but calcium is literally involved in every movement you make. So what are the signs that you might need more calcium?
Well, like we said, weaker bones and higher risk of fractures is a big one. But you might also get leg cramps more often, especially at night. Your muscles might feel sluggish, or you might feel a bit unsteady on your feet.
Those are definitely signs you shouldn't ignore. So how do we make sure we're getting enough calcium?
The best way is through your diet. Dairy products are a good source. Milk, cheese, yogurt. But there are lots of non-dairy options too. Leafy greens like kale and spinach, almonds, tofu. You can even get calcium from canned salmon and sardines if you eat the bones.
And I've seen calcium-fortified foods like orange juice.
Yeah, those can help too. The idea is to eat a variety of foods to make sure you're absorbing nutrients well.
What about supplements?
They can help if you have dietary restrictions or if you have trouble absorbing calcium from food. And they work best when taken with vitamin D, since vitamin D helps your body use calcium more efficiently. But it's important not to overdo it. Too much calcium from supplements can lead to other problems, like calcium buildup in your arteries or kidney stones.
So don't just megadose yourself with calcium.
Exactly. Most older adults should aim for 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams per day. And focus on food first. Supplements can fill in the gaps. But always talk to your doctor before starting any new supplements.
And of course, exercise is important too, right?
Huge. Weight-bearing exercises like walking, dancing, even just light strength training tell your bones to get stronger.
So the calcium has somewhere to go.
Exactly. It's all about getting enough calcium and then telling your body to use it.
Okay, let's switch gears and talk about vitamin B12. We hear about it with energy, but what does that have to do with strong legs?
Okay, so we've talked about muscles and bones. But the nerves that control our legs, they're just as important. And that's where B12 comes in. It's crucial for keeping those nerves healthy, especially the myelin sheath, which protects our nerves.
The myelin sheath.
Yeah, think of it like insulation around an electrical wire. It makes sure those signals from your brain get to your muscles quickly and cleanly. Without enough B12, that myelin sheath can break down. The signals get messed up.
So it's all about clear communication between your brain and your muscles.
Right. And when that communication breaks down, you get muscle weakness. You might feel unsteady. You might have trouble with fine motor control in your feet and legs.
Interesting. So what are some signs that you might be low on B12?
Your legs might feel heavy, tired, or just blah. You might also get numbness or tingling in your feet and legs, sometimes that pins and needles feeling.
Is B12 deficiency common in seniors?
Very. As we age, we tend to produce less stomach acid. And we need stomach acid to absorb B12 properly. Plus, some medications can interfere with B12 absorption, and our diets might change too.
So if you're not getting enough B12, what happens?
Long term, it can cause nerve damage. This is called neuropathy. And that nerve damage can affect your balance, your coordination, how well you walk. It can even make it hard to just lift your feet. And sometimes people mistake these symptoms for just getting older.
So they don't get the treatment they need.
Exactly. But the good news is, if you catch it early enough, a lot of that damage can be reversed. Studies have shown that getting your B12 levels back to normal can really improve strength, endurance, and balance in seniors.
So where do we get B12 from?
Mostly animal products: meat, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy. If you're vegetarian or vegan, you really need to be careful to get enough B12. Some foods are fortified with it, like cereals and plant-based milk, but you might need to take a supplement.
Are B12 supplements safe?
They're generally considered very safe, even in higher doses. And if you have trouble absorbing B12, your doctor might even give you injections.
Okay, let's move on to magnesium. It seems like it's good for everything. What does it do for our legs?
Magnesium. It's like the unsung hero of muscle function. Think of it this way. It helps your muscles do their thing, contract when they need to, but it also helps them relax afterwards.
So if you're one of those people who gets those awful leg cramps at night.
Yeah, low magnesium can definitely be a culprit. Magnesium helps calm down those overactive nerve signals that cause those cramps, so it can help you get a good night's sleep.
I know I've heard about magnesium and bone health.
Right. We tend to focus on calcium, but magnesium is important too. It helps your body use calcium correctly, making sure it goes to your bones and not building up in the wrong places. Studies show that people who get enough magnesium tend to have denser bones and are less likely to break a bone.
So how do we know if we're not getting enough magnesium?
Like we said, muscle cramps are a big one,
Mm.
but you might also feel tired and worn out more often. Like you just don't have the stamina you used to.
Interesting. So if I eat more magnesium-rich foods, I might have more energy.
It's possible. It's not a guaranteed fix, but it can definitely help. Magnesium is involved in so many processes in the body.
So which foods have a lot of magnesium?
Leafy greens are a good start. Spinach, kale, collard greens. Nuts and seeds too, like almonds and pumpkin seeds. Whole grains. Legumes like beans and lentils. Avocados, bananas, and yes, even dark chocolate.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Just remember, moderation is key. And if you need a boost, magnesium supplements are an option. But talk to your doctor first, especially if you have any health conditions.
Moving on to potassium, another electrolyte that gets a lot of attention. I know it helps with muscle cramps, but what else does it do?
Potassium is all about balance. It lets keep the right amount of fluids inside and outside your cells, which is super important for how your muscles work. And it's also involved in how those signals travel from your brain to your muscles, telling them to contract or relax.
So if you don't have enough potassium, things get a little out of whack.
Right. And that's when you get those painful cramps. Your muscles get too excitable and they just seize up.
Yeah.
But potassium does more than prevent cramps. Have you ever felt your legs shaking or feeling weak or like they're stiff?
Yeah, sometimes.
Potassium plays a role in smooth, coordinated muscle movements. When your levels are low, the communication between your brain and muscles isn't as good, and that can affect your strength and balance, increasing your risk of falls.
And falls, as we've said, can have huge consequences.
They can. And here's an interesting thing about potassium. It's also good for your bones. It helps balance out acids in your body, which can pull calcium from your bones if they get out of control. So eating potassium-rich foods might actually help you keep your bones strong.
That's interesting. So where can we find potassium, besides bananas, of course?
Oh, tons of places. Oranges, melons, apricots, grapefruit, vegetables like potatoes, spinach, broccoli, tomatoes, avocados and beets too, and beans, lentils, dairy products, even some fish.
So it's pretty easy to get enough potassium if you're eating a healthy diet. What about supplements?
Be careful with those. High doses of potassium can be dangerous, especially if you have kidney problems or if you're on certain medications. It's always best to get potassium from food, and if you think you need a supplement, talk to your doctor first.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about vitamin K. I know it's good for bones, but I don't really understand what it does.
You know how we've been talking about calcium? Well, think of vitamin K as the calcium manager. It makes sure calcium goes to the right places in your body, like into your bones, to make them strong. And it keeps calcium from building up in places where it doesn't belong, like your arteries.
So it's not just about getting enough calcium, it's about making sure it goes where it's supposed to.
Exactly. And vitamin K gets even more important as we age. Research shows that people who have enough vitamin K have stronger bones and are less likely to break a bone, especially a hip fracture. That's because vitamin K activates a special protein that helps calcium bind to bone.
So it's like the glue that holds everything together.
Exactly. And it might even be good for your joints. Some research suggests that vitamin K can reduce inflammation in the joints and help maintain the cartilage.
That's great news for anyone with achy joints. What about muscles?
Yeah, there's some early research suggesting vitamin K might help with muscle strength and coordination too, but we need more studies to know for sure.
So where do we get vitamin K from?
There are two types of vitamin K. K1 is found in leafy green vegetables like kale, spinach, and collard greens. K2 is found in fermented foods like natto, some cheeses, egg yolks, and liver.
So more reasons to eat your greens. And maybe try some new fermented foods.
Exactly. But there's one important thing to keep in mind. If you're taking blood thinners, like warfarin, you need to be really careful with vitamin K.
Because
Vitamin K is involved in how your blood clots, so any big changes in your vitamin K intake can affect how well your medication works. Talk to your doctor before making any changes to your diet or starting a vitamin K supplement.
Okay, so we've covered a lot today. Vitamin D, calcium, B12, magnesium, potassium, vitamin K. That's a lot of nutrients.
It is. And they all play a part in keeping our legs strong and healthy as we age. It's amazing how they work together, each one with its own special job.
It really is. And the best way to get all those nutrients is to eat a healthy, balanced diet. Plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein.
Right. And don't forget about sunlight for vitamin D and exercise to keep those muscles and bones strong.
And as always, if you have any concerns about your health or if you think you might be deficient in one of these nutrients, talk to your doctor.
So here's something to think about. As you go through your day, pay attention to what you're eating. Are you getting enough of these key nutrients? Even making small changes to your diet can have a big impact on how you feel. Maybe you'll have more energy, feel more stable on your feet, and just have that confidence to keep doing the things you love.
It's all about taking care of those legs so they can take care of you.
I couldn't have said it better myself.